What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. Welcome to the juice. So if you guys are new to the channel and not familiar with the juice, first off, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we're really trying to grow the channel. We're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, and would definitely appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. But the juice is essentially my recap videos from each tournament that I fish. So today we're diving in and talking about Stage 7, the final event of the year on the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour on the St. Lawrence River. It's a great tournament. We finished 5th place, and man, it was a lot of fun. Caught a lot of big smallmouth. But the Juice series is presented by Fish USA. So if you guys aren't familiar with Fish USA, they're a huge online tackle retailer. They got everything you could ever need for fishing, not just bass fishing. Anything you could need for fishing, they got it in stock, ready to ship. They'll get it to you real fast, and yeah, they'll get you out on the water with whatever tackle you may need. But if you guys want any of the stuff I'm about to talk about in this video, check the links in the description down below. You can head right over to Fish USA and check out the tackle that we used. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in. Let's talk about the juice, all the good stuff, the rods, reels, line, equipment, patterns, all that good stuff from the St. Lawrence River Stage 7. Okay, so we're here in New York, St. Lawrence River for Stage 7. You know, the Major League Fishing takes out of Messina on the St. Lawrence River. That's basically the far downstream end of the St. Lawrence River. You know, Clayton or Cape Vincent area is where the Lake Ontario kind of starts the river, and it flows this way towards Messina. So it's a huge playing field to start. I think it's like close to 100 miles from Messina to the mouth of the lake. So it's a huge area of water to fish. It's massive. It's really overwhelming, to be totally honest. There's so many little shoals and islands. I mean, they call it the Thousand Islands region for a reason. They are islands and shoals and flats and deep channels. There's so much structure, so many places the fish can hide, that it's really just overwhelming. But for me, you know, I've been here a good amount of time. I got a lot of experience on the St. Lawrence River, so I kind of knew what to expect coming into the event. You know, I kind of came in with a preconceived notion. You know, it was kind of a warmer spring, a warmer year in general. Everything seemed to be kind of ahead of itself. And I came into this tournament fully expecting that all of the fish would be out deep. There wouldn't be anything left shallow. And really, that was a big mistake on my part. You know, I really spent my first full day of practice out in 30 to 50 feet of water. I never really went shallower than that all day long. And it wasn't really till the second day of practice that I kind of ventured into a couple little shallow areas to check, and I found pretty quick that there was a bunch of fish shallow. I think the vast majority of the bass were shallow for this event. And from there, I really started dialing in my presentations. You know, I knew with the Every Fish Counts format, I wanted to try and catch them on a heavier rod, heavier line, you know, a bait that I could really reel them in quick and catch a lot of them in a hurry. And that's kind of how I settled on the jerkbait. So, you know, fast forward through practice, I kind of dial in the section of the river I want to be in, the patterns I want to fish, and then, you know, the baits I want to throw. So, you know, we head out day 1 of the tournament, and we catch 106 pounds of bass for the lead. I think we caught 30 scoreable bass for 100 pounds. I mean, it was a great day of fishing, and man, it was a lot of fun. So fast forward second day, you know, I kind of practice a little bit and catch a bunch more bass. I end up winning the round, the qualifying round, head to the knockout round, and had another great day. Finished 3rd in the knockout round, moved on to the championship round. And yeah, the championship round was a little bit tougher on me. You know, we had some unique weather come through, kind of the wind switched things up, and no excuses, but I just flat out didn't catch them. I ended up 5th place. I was 1 scoreable away from 3rd place, and I really thought we were on something special. It was a really special week, but overall great tournament. Finished 5th place, great paycheck, great way to end the year. We finished in the top 10 in the points, in the top 10 in heavy hitters. Overall, just a great season, and loving life on the Bass Pro Tour. So let's dive into baits. I know that's what you guys want to see. You guys always want to see the baits, the juice. So first up, like I said, the jerk bait was the main player. I really rotated through a few different jerk baits, and then a new bait we're going to talk about here soon. But these are just two different smallmouth staples, kind of like a clearish purple color and then more of a chrome color, just really based on the clouds, you know, the sunshine, the clouds. I would just kind of vary my color variation based on the weather pattern. But as far as equipment, I was throwing them on 15-pound Seagar Tatsu fluorocarbon, so I wanted heavier line. You know, one, it helps keep the bait higher, but two, it gives me that added strength that I can really just wrench those fish. I can boat flip. I think I boat flipped a 5-pounder in practice. Probably shouldn't have done that. I think I boat flipped a 4-something in the tournament too, which, you know, looking back, that's a little silly. But I mean, I knew my equipment was dialed in that I could do that. Throwing it on a 7-foot medium heavy rod and a 7.1-to-1 gear ratio reel. Just my favorite jerkbait setup. You know, I throw jerkbait a bunch, and I've really settled in on that 7-foot medium heavy and really like doing that. So that was the jerkbait setup. You know, that caught a lot of fish. But after I'd fished through some of the same areas, those fish would get a little pressured, and I found this guy was a big player for those fish. They've never seen this bait. This is a brand new bait from Bill Lewis. It's called the Depth Strike. So you've seen me do a video on this about ICAST. We called it the Depth Charge. Well, they had to change the name. There was some little issue with someone had trademarked the name Depth Charge, so they had to change it to Depth Strike. So that's this little bait right here. It's essentially a lipless jerk bait. You know, it does things a little different. It kind of shimmies on the fall. It sinks. So it's not a suspending bait. It sinks, it shimmies on the fall. And then when you start twitching and dancing this bait, it really gets erratic and has a totally unique action that the fish had never seen. And I was able to pick up quite a few fish behind myself on the Depth Charge. It's really cool alternative to a Depth Strike. That's right. I see. I'm confused. It's the Depth Strike. Depth Strike. So there's 3 different sizes of the Depth Strike. This is the biggest size. I forget the number, but this is the biggest size, and this is the green gizzard color right here. So that's a beautiful little bait, and I'm really excited for these to be out. They'll be out real soon here, I think sometime in September or October, but an excellent little alternative, and I see so many uses for this bait, so I'm really excited. Same equipment setup on that 15-pound line, 7-foot medium heavy reel. Now, up until the championship round, every single bass I caught for the first 3 days of the tournament were on a bait caster. One of those, I mean, I had a few different jerk baits and different setups up there, but they were all on a bait caster on 15-pound line. And really, on the championship round, all the way up until about the last hour of the day, every bass I caught was on one of those setups there. But at the very end of the day, I needed to catch a couple more fish to move up the leaderboard, make a little bit more money, and I had one little drift in mind, so I went and pulled out the spinning rod. Finally caught a couple on the good old spinning rod, and that was throwing this little football jig. So this is kind of a newer technique that's kind of taken the St. Lawrence River by storm. This is, what is this called? What is this? I know the name, it's right on my tongue. Why can't I think of it? Beast Coast. It's a Beast Coast little football jig. So this one is actually called the hybrid goby color. It has a little bit of fur mixed in with the silicone skirt. Just gives it a little bit bigger profile. I can't believe I had a brain fart there. Couldn't remember the name. But yeah, this is the Beast Coast little football jig. 1/2-ounce size on this. And then on the back, I was adding the Yamamoto Ned Cinco. So you want a nice floating trailer on there. So as he's darting along the bottom, that trailer kind of stands up if he ever sits still. And yeah, I caught, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 fish at the end of the day in the championship round. Made me a lot more money with that little guy right there. So like I said, that's the hybrid goby color, 1/2-ounce little Beast Coast jig. I think Fish USA still has some in stock. These are pretty hard to find right now. I know a lot of guys that bought them up for this tournament that we fished, the Toyota series, the Elite series here. Everybody's been trying to buy these, and I know Fish USA has some in stock. So if you want to get some of the Beast Coast jigs, head over there and check them out. Threw him on my, the same spinning rod I throw all year, the 7'2" medium heavy. And I went with 10-pound Seaguar Tatsu leader on here, just because this jig, when he gets down in that rock, he's bouncing around, and I want a little bit stronger line just in case, I nicked one of them zebra mussels or something, and I just wanted that little bit extra strength to help get him in the boat should that happen. But that's it, guys. That's the juice. Like I said, 99% of the fish in the tournament came on the jerkbait or the depth strike, but the jig always comes through with some. I really expected to catch him on a drop shot out deep with the new shad-shaped swimmer, but for me, I never really found a consistent bite out there. I'd catch a few good ones and a bunch of little ones, then a couple good ones, then a bunch of little ones, and for me, shallow was consistent for me this week, and that's what we did, and we made it work to a 5th place finish. So appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, check the links in the description down below. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.